when you see God in your prayers, tell him I say hello and I'm trying my best.
I will, but if you see him before I do, tell him the same.
Oh, God forbid. No, I don't mean it in a derogatory sense, but I know I have a feeling that you super religious guys live in a world I don't understand. I see it, but you're in a realm I don't live in. A realm I go around, I get near it, I feel it, but I'm not in it. But I know you speak to God. That's what I meant by it, not in a negative sense that you're going to.
No, I took it that way. I understand, but don't underestimate yourself. You're a man that has a voice. You're reaching millions of people, and you're on a mission. So everybody has their mitzvah, their good deed. Don't underestimate the effect you have. It takes on many shapes. There's no, religion and connection to God is not. Let's not pigeonhole it into one category. It's not stereotypical. It doesn't have to look a certain part. It's about fulfilling a calling that really makes the world a better place. And I think that you can feel proud. I'm not saying it to flatter you. I think you need to know that.
Well, you are making me feel connected again. I get disconnected from my own core beliefs sometimes. I get distracted.
But look, we all have our moments of dissonance. Trust me, so do I. And I think at times like this, I remember from October 7th, I was in California when it happened. I felt like, sometimes your whole life you train for a moment like this, because these are real moments. This is a defining time in history. There's no question.
Yes.
It's not business as usual. And I feel that certain sense of urgency that we need to really, and using technology and the airwaves and podcast is a tremendous way of I have a big Muslim following. I do a lot of YouTube videos.
Wow.
And plenty of hate mail, but a lot of love mail as well. And I think we can make a difference because there are enough people out there that can hear a humane message if you say it in the right way. There are haters. I know people, you can't change their minds.
Yes.
But there are plenty silent majority that can be swayed and that can be educated. Because let's be honest, most of it is ignorance, misinformation.
Yes.
Brainwashing, propaganda.
I see it online all the time. You see the Jew haters, like they say the Torah that says this. They don't even know what it means. So I say that sometimes I'll get engaged with them. They're like dummies. You could see the dummies. The Torah says this. I said, do you read Hebrew? Do you know what the Torah is? But then they say the Talmud is anti-Christian. I said, you ever read it? No, but I know it's anti-Christian. They do things like that. 2019, I had a heart attack. I suffered a heart attack. So I'm in the hospital. They're wheeling me in after a lifetime of fearing it and vitamins and health, but still being a crazy guy and doing all the stuff I shouldn't as well. So they're wheeling me into the room and they give me some drug on the way in. So I start to pray in the Shema in the cart. They're wheeling the meat wagon in, and I'm going from English to Hebrew and back and forth. So after it's over, the surgeon says to my wife, your husband was mumbling on the way into the surgical ward. I said, doctor, I wasn't mumbling. I was praying. I said, you guys are geniuses when it comes to science, but you got to understand there's a spirit also that wants to live. The spirit was saying, please, God, let me live.
Well said. Yeah.
So a few months later or a month later, I get like a feeling I'm having again. I go back to the ER room. I'm scared to death. And they keep you for 8 hours to see if you had. And a black nurse comes in that I noticed on the way in, a very large lady. I knew she was African. I could almost tell you the country and village she was from because I spent years in the Fiji Islands, and I got to know a lot of the derivation of African people around the world. And she comes into the room and we talk, and she looks in my eyes, and I saw she was looking right through me, and she says, don't worry. She said, you've got a lot of work to do. Where'd she come from? Who was she?
Wow. A divine agent.
Who was she?
Wow.
Well, Rabbi, I don't want to let you go, but I got to. So you have the final word.
Very moving, very moving. Well, I'm glad you're with us and you're healthy, and you should only continue being healthy and fulfilling your calling in this world. And I say that also to all your listeners. That's what we have to be. We have to today be soldiers and fighting and realize that the passion for good and love has to be stronger than their passion for hatred and violence and evil.